Amazing upset in Olympic history featured a middle distance runner from Canton, Ohio named Dave Wottle. Now, Dave attended Bowling Green State University where he competed in the mile and half-mile events.
And Dave appeared on Greatest Sports Legends where he revealed how he eventually became an Olympic champion, starting back when he ran in high school.
Your dad was very important to you, and I read where you said he was your #1 fan. Tell me about that.
You know, he gave me that motivation. He believed in me, and he was always out there. He was a factory worker, blue-collar worker, worked in a forging plant, but he was always there for the meets that I would have. You need that kind of support, you know, when you're having all that self-doubt.
Now, during his junior year in college, Dave would win the 1,500-meter race at the NCAA Track and Field Championships. Now, the key to his success was his rigorous training regimen.
I'd probably go on 70 to 120 miles a week, depending on the season.
Anytime I'm going to go over a mile or two, I'm going to be sitting behind the wheel.
That same year, Dave qualified for the Olympic trials when he would compete in both the 800 and the 1,500-meter events.
I always perceived myself as a miler. I loved the mile. That was my event. I never looked at myself as a half mile. The half mile was always kind of an afterthought.
Surprisingly, at these trials, Dave won the 800-meter race in world record time. He might have thought himself a miler, but Wes, he was one of the best in the world at the half mile as well.
Well, you know, the mile or 1,500 meters is considered a glamour event. Maybe that's why. But as it turned out, Dave qualified for both events during the 1972 Olympics.
Yeah, the games would take place in Munich, Germany, and when Dave entered the 800-meter finals, he was not even considered a threat to win. The favorite, in fact, was Evgeny Arzanov of the Soviet Union, who hadn't lost an 800-meter race in 3 years.
So, when the starting gun went off, Arzanov took the lead, and lo and behold, it was Dave Wottle immediately falling into last place. And I'm talking way back, like 15 meters behind the entire pack.
Yeah, Dave later revealed that at that moment, he thought to himself, this is embarrassing. I'm not even in this race. I'm going to go home, and my friends are going to say, hey, you could have at least been in the race.
Here's where it gets fun. Halfway through the race, Dave still in last place. You think hope is lost? No, because then he began to close the gap. And during the last 200 meters, he gained even more ground. And then he hit that straightaway, and he closed in on the leader, Arzanov, and crossed the finish line at the exact same time as the Soviet.
Yeah, it would take the officials 5 minutes to determine who actually won the race.
So that's the moment of reckoning, you know. In those 5 minutes, like any athlete, you know, you think you won, you don't know you won, no one's telling you won, you're just kind of mulling around. The way you found out in the Olympic Games was really kind of dramatic. They had 2 gigantic pitch black scoreboards at each end of the Olympic Stadium, and you knew that the first name that would flash up was going to be the winner. So the world knew when you found out.
Wow. Turns out the first name to flash up on that big scoreboard was Dave Wottle. Now, he had defeated Arzanov by 3/100ths of a second and unexpectedly won the gold medal.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Wes, many call Wattle's race that day one of the most amazing comebacks in the history of the Olympics.